Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the West East podcast. My name is Amanda, and as always, I'm joined by the one and only Dr. Art. Hi, Dr. Art.
Hi, Amy.
How are you doing today?
Good. You?
I I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I like to I like that we launched right into the episode last time, but I feel like because we're talking about a scary movie, I wanted to check in and see how are you doing before the conversation gets serious.
I'm good.
Good, good. So folks, right off the top, I'm just gonna say, spoiler alert, there will be spoilers in this episode. We are going to be discussing Damian McCarthy's Hokum, which is a very recent, film. I think it just left the theaters, in North America, like very, very recently. It came out in May. But oh my gosh, it was so good. We couldn't resist. Um, well, I won't speak for you, Dr. Art, but I could say I loved it and I think you feel the same. How did you enjoy the movie?
I feel the same. It's an amazing movie. You know our love for horror movies since beginning. So
Yes, yes.
yeah, I enjoy
uh,
I enjoyed this one.
I'm very glad. I'm very glad. And actually, I'm glad you referenced that because, folks, if you have been a long time listener, in season one, episode 12, we did talk about horror films. We gave our 7 rules for the perfect horror film or 7 rules for horror movies. We're going to try to see how Hokum matches up. But we couldn't resist, like we said, we both enjoyed this movie and we wanted to take the time to kind of walk through, some references we found and just kind of give a review of the movie, talk through the movie. Again, always as fans. Um, so uh, maybe we'll start with this. Damian McCarthy himself. This is his third movie. So he has 2 other ones. I would encourage people to go and see the other two. Caveat is his first one, and Oddity is his second one, and then Hokum joins as the third one. They're not necessarily linked, like the story isn't continuous or anything, but you can definitely see he has an aesthetic similar to like Wes Anderson, where you could just look at a still from a Wes Anderson movie and you'd be like able to know, even if you don't know which movie it is, you'd know that it's a Wes Anderson film. He has like similar tropes. And he even carries props through, like the use of the intercom in Hokum. You also see in Caveat, chains that you see in Caveat and Hokum. The bell in the lobby in Hokum is literally apparently the same bell that's in Oddity. At the end you see, or no, you see it throughout, but at the end is when they really focus in on it. And then he likes to show people like with lanterns a lot, which kind of plays onto his his amazing ability to scare the heck out of you. Like he does so much with so little and he builds suspense so well. Um, Dr. Art, I have to ask, like, did the jump scares get you in the movie? Like, I know
Uh,
you're a seasoned
like
horror film
not as
watcher.
in
Yeah.
like I screamed or anything, but yeah, it takes you back like one or two took me back like oh it came
Yeah.
like that.
Like you jolt, you're like, oh. So I have to say, like, in every movie that I've watched of his, like all 3 of them, it takes a lot for me to feel like uncomfortable when I'm watching a scary movie because I've seen so many of them. But my gosh, does he paint the atmosphere in such a way, like you just feel like unsettled, or that feeling of inevitability where you know something's coming, but the way he does his jump scares, it's just like a little bit of a different flavor than what you're used to, and it's just enough to catch you off guard or off edge. Um, we'll do a summary of the movie, just for folks who are either watching this before you see it, but I would recommend you watch the movie before you watch our episode. I'm not going to stop you from watching the episode though. Please, we like the viewership. um, but if you need a summary, essentially, Adam Scott is starring in this one, and he plays a writer who travels to a hotel in Ireland where his parents had honeymooned, and he goes there to spread their ashes. And when he's there, some events happen, and one of the hotel staff goes missing. He ends up locked in the honeymoon suite, where apparently it's haunted by a witch. Not so apparently. A spoiler. It happened there. You see a witch, or so we think. We'll get into that in a moment. But, and he kind of like relives the, he's trapped in this room and he's trying to find his way out while he's also solving this missing person's murder, because it turns out she was there, the person who was missing, the staff member, and she was murdered. And at the same time, throughout all of this, he's working through some trauma from when he was a child, and there was an accident with his mother. She passed away, and it was kind of at his hand, but it wasn't really his fault. It was very much an accident. And so all of these things are layered, and he's working through all of this while he's trapped in this room. And there's some other elements that we can get into, but that's like the crux of it. And it's really like an amazing journey. It'll remind you of so many other movies. But before we I want to dive into like the psychology of it in a moment, because oddly enough, I feel like Hokum fits very well in our season of the West East podcast, and we didn't intend for that, but it's really cool. Before I do, though, I want to say that when I saw this movie, I got to see it in theaters, which was so cool. It was the end of the run, so it was like very recent that I saw it, and the theater was packed. It was a packed house, so much so that the staff came in. They were filming for like social media, so you know that it had to have been like a really packed house because they wanted to show it off on
Yeah.
their social media site. And the staff member thanked us for coming to see the movie and wished us like a well to enjoy the show. And nowadays, people are on their phones. Like, it's hard to keep people's attention. It was not difficult. In this movie, everybody was dialed in the whole time. We were all going through this terrifying experience together. And the jump scares were so good in theaters that, like, literally for one of them, the woman behind us, this has never happened to me before. She screamed at the top of her lungs at one of the jump scares. And it was so jarring that people turned and looked back to make sure she was okay. Like, I've never had that happened before, but it just speaks to how impactful the movie was, and just how high quality the storytelling and the cinematography is. But yeah, I think that's also from the layering. So, Dr. Art, can I get you to break down a bit of like the psychology? Like, maybe you could talk about with that summary, and you could tell I really love this film because I haven't spoken this much in an episode yet, like continuously. I just got on a roll. Can you break down the psychology of this episode,
You are a
and maybe
true
like we can
fan.
get into those
You are a true
themes?
fan,
Oh,
that's why.
a very true fan and a fast fan, because I saw Hokum first and then went back and watched the other two, and I'm planning to watch all three of them again very soon. Like, they're that good. I
Yeah.
probably one of the best movies horror films I've seen in like the past decade. And my husband and I agree on that. Shiv and I agree on that 100%. But yeah, sorry. Can you give me your take, and let's break down the psychology, and then we can get into like other movies and other references that we saw. And then I have a bit of a twist that's like a West
Yeah.
East podcast take that I'll throw in at the
Yeah.
end.
So if you see in the movie, the main character is Oham is like a mess in his real life. Though he is successful, though he is a very good writer, he has everything you can call a success, but inside he is not happy. If you see, he's very mean person. If you there are pointers in the movie where he acts as a very he doesn't care about, he doesn't have the kindness, you can say, and he's just
Oh yeah.
rude.
Yep.
And the
He
hotel
burns the busboy with the spoon, remember?
yeah, yeah, so he
Yeah.
is not like, you cannot call him kind. So the hotel, if you see the hotel, for he is loaded with the guilt, that guilt he is carrying since childhood, because of whatsoever trauma happened to him. It's he's
Mhm.
totally taken over by that guilt, and he operates from that shame and guilt, whatever has happened to him, and he doesn't realize, and he doesn't face his emotions. So he has become so bitter. And this hotel where he goes to for the shedding the ashes of his parents. That hotel is a psychological maze. If you see, there are top floor, there is a basement, each
Yeah.
represents your like a conscious mind, subconscious mind. Like basement is like your subconscious mind, where you have to face your fear because ghost is there. If you don't face there, you will not come out healed. It's That's what I felt. And
Yeah.
it's like uh, 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 the basement was like his suppressed trauma. It was like a guilt, and the chains, if you see, there are a lot of references about chains. So it's like
Yeah.
self we are holding on to our guilt, and we are giving us a self punishment because we are holding on and not processing that trauma. And in the end, if you see the fire was like, once you face it, it will, that time you will feel like a heat of the trauma. But then once you cross that fire, there will be a new light, it's like
Hmm.
that. So he had to go through, express his trauma, face his trauma, express his whatever guilt and he was feeling, and came out strong. And then if you see in the end, his total mindset changes.
Yeah. Yeah. As opposed to the villain of the story who gets
Yeah.
dragged into, well, like dragged into hell, you could say, or whatever that
And
is.
yeah, and the
He
trauma
doesn't
makes
face
you
it.
different kind of person. Like if you see
Yeah.
the character Jerry, if you see the character Fiona, they are a mirror for Oham. Like if you see
Yeah.
throughout the movie, Fiona helps him. And
Yep.
it's like she is a compassion and connection towards himself, where she is very kind and she speaks very positive about everything. Where Jerry, in spite of being, if you see, you will like the character, but in spite of, you will see, if you uh, proceed your life with guilt and shame and regret, what kind of life you will end up. He keeps on running in the woods. He is unsettled in his own life, but he is kind enough. So it's a mirror for himself, it's like
Yeah.
and if you see the villain Mal, he is in denial. He is like, he doesn't want to face his responsibility. So
He's
all these
pure
things
ego.
are,
Yeah.
yeah, so all these things are the different way of dealing the trauma. And the right, like how when you want to heal, Ohem has to go through the all of them and then understand what he needs to do. And then
Mhm.
uh, if you see in the end, the folklore of witch is also there, that she takes someone. But you see how who takes the witch, whom she takes and whom she doesn't harm. So that also shows us that you need kindness in your life, or you need
Mhm.
you know you should weigh off the guilt in yourself, and understand what happened and why happened to you. You are not your trauma. It happened to you, but you are not that.
Mhm. Yeah.
it Does
And
it
it's
make sense to
really
you?
the yeah, 100%.
Like,
It's really the people that couldn't get past it that get sucked into it. The only thing that
yeah,
I saw something different though was, to me, Jerry was one of the most free characters. Like
yeah, yeah.
it wasn't him that couldn't accept his reality or what was going on. He wasn't really running away. It was like he let go. To be honest, he was very like Viragi to me. Like that he just like sannyast. He just like let go of everything and ran into
Mm,
the woods. And it was
no,
everybody
but he
else that
was
couldn't
still,
accept his fate.
like, in my opinion, he was still yeah, he had lot of guilt. That's why he chose that life. I feel
Mm,
that way.
yeah, except there was that one scene where he says that he saw his wife, and his wife said she wasn't mad at him for doing what he did, because he basically euthanized her, is what we learn. And she said she wasn't mad and that they would see each other soon. And he kind of like predicts his fate at the end of the movie when Mal ends up killing him.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, uh, but I guess this is where art is good because we both saw something different,
So
right? But
it's
it could be
like
both. Yeah.
that's what is unique about psychology or human mind, that you
Yes.
see the same red rose. One person will see a beautiful flower, and one person will
Yeah.
see a different aspect of that flower, or the, it will
Yeah.
see that the different, you will see this side and I'll say that side, so that's your
Where
interpretation,
we're
this is my interpretation.
yeah,
So that's
we're
the
both
beauty
looking at
of human mind. Yeah, we both are
yeah.
right.
Well,
And
we're
you
both
never
looking
know
at the same
the
house, but from
interpretation
different
of,
sides.
yeah,
Yeah,
an interpretation of someone else will be totally different from us. They might not
yeah,
see what we have seen.
yeah, yeah. It's true, and so on that thread, um, I'll save it for the end, but when we're gonna come back to this because when you're talking about art and everybody seeing it differently, when I looked at the film through the lens of the West East podcast and like what our mission is, I had a really like cool take similar to how when you listen to a song, sometimes you can get a meaning from it that the writer had no intention when they wrote it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's universal music and art, it touches your soul and everybody can have their own experience and see their own vision. But before we get into that, I thank you, by the way. I love that reading of it and that interpretation, and that really kind of digs into the psychology and connects. Basically, he goes on a journey of like self-discovery, which is kind of funny because he's a bit of a like self-indulgent character, and then at first he's like very unlikable, and then you're instantly rooting for him when he's trapped. Like it reminded me of 1408, like John
yeah.
Cusack in 1408, where you're like, man, this guy doesn't even believe what he's doing, and then he's trapped in the hotel room, and you're like, oh my god, I hope he's okay. Like I hope he survives. He works through his trauma. Like Adam Scott goes on like a very similar journey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to talk about this is a good transition. Like other references, other films. 1408 came to mind right away. Uh, and Shivam was the one that brought that up first. I think that's why he wanted to see Hokum. Um, what other references did you get? Like other movie references? I have some written down, but I want to know what you saw, and then I'll supplement with any ones that uh I saw that you don't mention. Like, did you get any other movie references when you watched it, or did it
So
remind you of anything else?
honestly speaking, it's been a long since I have seen a scary movie or a horror movie, because I was doing something which I didn't like. It was not a part of, you should not watch all these movies. So I didn't
Uh,
see, and I think after a long time I saw a Hokum, which was a horror movie.
oh, okay, okay.
So
So then
my knowledge about recent horror movies are rusty, but
it's
1408 definitely, it reminds me of
yeah.
that whole feeling of that same room, and he's trying to do something. There are elements of the room, the chocolate,
Mhm.
and in this there was if a beautiful clock. I love the clock, by the way, in
Yes.
this
Oh
movie.
my gosh. All those cut scenes, like with the boy and when he's like the cheeky
I was
look
like,
when
hit it. I was
with the
like, hit
dumb
it, hit
waiter.
it.
Yeah.
I used to literally, I was used to feel inside that. Please do that. Please do that.
Oh my gosh, it's true. Like he really brought like the still statues to life. Like
Yeah,
the angels on the wall, the like see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, the like
yeah,
the smiles that like turn ghoulish, even though the
yeah.
character like the statue didn't change, the little boy
The
looking to the
cabin in the
side.
woods type feeling also,
Yes,
because it was a rustic,
yes,
uh,
yeah.
the
Uh,
Evil
I'll
Dead
add
kind
some.
of a feeling. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A little bit Evil Dead, especially that like donkey TV character, which that whole TV, so that was inspired apparently by like 1940s and 50s children's shows, which kind of had like eerie, I don't know, setting and characters in them. But if anybody watches WWE, um, uh, the, oh my gosh, Bray Wyatt, I think is the character's name, the Fiend. He has like a whole bit called the Firefly Funhouse, and when I saw that children's show, that's what it reminded me of. I know that that's like a totally random. I doubt Damian McCarthy had that in his mind at all, but I think they're like both inspired by those like creepy 1940s, 1950s children's shows. But I'll throw out some other references, and I'm sure it'll bring back some memories. So another one that a lot of people have talked about that I definitely related to was The Shining.
yeah,
This movie, right? That whole like he was a writer too, Jack Nicholson, isolated in the hotel, except in this one he's trapped, but still, all of like I think there's like even like hacking through the door, like with I don't know if that actually happens in Hokum, but I feel like it does. Like, but if you remember the "Here's Johnny" moment, in The Shining. And weirdly enough, The Shining had an anniversary showing this year. So I actually got to see The
I
Shining
read
in
about it.
IMAX. Oh, it was awesome. So that was really cool to like, again, unexpected, but awesome. And there's definite connections and that whole psychological element and going through that journey of like self-discovery, except it doesn't go so well in The Shining. It goes a lot better in the Hokum. Um, there was also a supernatural connection, which is like our shared love, that show. Um, do you know what I mean when I say like there's something that reminds me of Supernatural? What do you think I'm talking about?
Mm.
Or do you know? Uh,
It so many things were there, but I'm thinking like rusty motels they used to sleep like that. You were
yeah,
saying?
the chalk circle. So that whole
Yeah,
idea of
yeah,
like the
yeah.
chalk, they
So
used
that time I
salt,
was
right?
the first time when he had a chalk, and I was like, "Where is the salt?" You know?
Yes. Immediately when Fiona starts talking about folklore and witches and there's a witch in the hotel, I was like, oh, sulfur, salt. Like I was like,
Salt. Yeah,
Supernatural prepared us for this moment. Like,
yeah,
uh, so there's like a nice, like it reminded me of that a little bit.
yeah.
And then there's one more connection that I don't think anyone else is gonna make, but it's there. So in Hokum, at the end, the busboy mentions that he spikes Adam Scott's
His
whiskey
drink. Yeah,
with
mushrooms.
mushrooms, right? In Haunting in Venice, similarly, there's that flower that causes delusions that
Delusions.
gets made into honey, right? The wildflower, whatever, and it gets put in uh, the main character's tea, right? And so he hallucinates. Adam Scott hallucinates, and that's sort of like makes them an unreliable narrator. Did the haunting
Yeah,
happen? Did it not? But even still, they both have a very much a supernatural experience, especially at the end of the movie. So
yeah.
I don't know if that was intentional, if it was like, if he thought of it at all, but I definitely
So that's where it
see a
comes
connection
that
there.
which is real or not, that is your interpretation. You can see it
Yes.
in his hallucination also. It can be a psychological thriller for some people, and it can be a real supernatural paranormal horror movie as well. Like,
Yes.
yeah, obviously, if you see, there was a dialogue where Jerry says that it's always there, it's just your mind is not free to see it, something like
Yes.
that he
Yes.
says.
He said that that when
Just
he
mushrooms
takes
helps
those
you see
mushrooms,
what is you are afraid of, see, or something like that he says. I don't
he
remember,
said it
but the
opens up
gist
your
of it is
mind.
this. Yeah,
Yeah, he basically says that it opens up your mind that these things are there, but for those who are paying attention and who are like, I don't know if he says intelligent enough, but that's kind of the gist of it, that you are more
I
likely
think
to
open
see
enough
it.
maybe will be the right
Yes,
thing.
it opens you up to
Accept,
see it.
open
You
enough
got
to
it.
accept it. Yeah.
You got it. So okay, so now we'll go through the rules in a second, but I want to give like a take that I don't know if anyone like, okay, this is like specifically speaking from a West East podcast perspective because the character's name is spelled OHM, but it's pronounced Ohm.
Oh,
So when I was thinking of, the, like our mission for this podcast, right, is to connect West and East. So again, totally unintentional. This is me going on like a tangent and looking at it through this lens, but I think I was able to piece some things together and like I see links to like Eastern culture a bit from my Western perspective. So there you go, West East. The character is an American in Ireland, and there's a lot of connections to like Irish folklore and the rest. So that's the West connection. His name is Om, which is Ganesha's name, right? So, or it's connected to Hinduism. Who's
it's she actually Shiva's name.
Shiva's name? Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No, no,
It's
that's
because the
okay.
symbol
I
looks
mean,
like
it's
Ganesha.
fine.
Uh,
Your
um,
intent matters.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope it will forgive my ignorance. But yes, so, uh, I thought that that was cool. There's like a lot of circles in the movie. Um, and, let me go to my notes so that I don't misspeak. Uh,
It's okay. Chill.
but the repetition of circles. Yes. Okay. I talked about the man in the woods being like Viragi, like Jerry being like a Viragi, and like he
Yeah, yeah.
sannyasas. If you think about Fiona, like, well, so Maul at the end gets his karma, right? Because he did an evil deed and he killed someone. He ends up getting taken into the fire. And Fiona, for me, represents like Derma because she helps Ohm throughout the movie, and that the voice recorder, she's able to help
She is
him.
able to, in even though she was
Yeah.
not there, she was there to help him.
And it's like she gets to complete her Derma, right? If her
Yeah.
Derma was to help him, um, in a way, she kind of mothers him. Like she's pregnant, right? And she dies when she's pregnant, and he loses his mother. And then this woman, and remember, he says to her at the beginning, "You remind me of my mother."
Her
Yeah, I
mother,
don't know if you
yeah.
remember that. He says that to
And
her.
she's like,
So,
I'm not
and
that old.
this, right? And then so she ends up like kind of guiding him to the end where he gets that closure from his mother. And that's
So
the only
she's,
moment where
yeah.
you see her eyes closed is right at the end after he's helped and he's been like freed of this shame and guilt. So
So
I
she's
don't know if
like
it's a,
that inner
yeah,
light of a human being, who
yes,
guides you
yes.
in a difficult situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I mean, I was like, no one else is going to get this. Like this meaning was like for us like to get, but, I share it because I thought it was cool, and relevant. And I hope that this movie was universal enough that somebody else will have their own interpretation, just like we're talking
Yeah.
about looking at the same house from different sides and they'll see
Someone
some
might think,
connection.
someone might listen to
Mhm.
us and think that these crazy people, what they are talking about. Nothing like that in that
Yeah.
movie.
If so, let's air it out in the comments, folks, because that's my favorite part of art is discussing things and being like, I see this and I see this. In my opinion, everybody's right. Everybody's wrong. Everybody's right. And if we have these discussions, it means it was a good movie. Um, really, really quickly, do you want to talk about the rules? So, okay, so our 7 rules from season 1. We're going to take time to do this. Uh, we're going to go through them. And folks, if you're like, what are they talking about? Episode 12, season 1, West East podcast. It's audio only, but I have to say it stands the test of time. I listened to it again today and, I was like, okay, I think we did a pretty good job. And we covered a lot of ground in that. We talked about our love for horror films. It's kind of like contextualizes this conversation. So the 7 rules, I'll remind you, we'll go through them one by one and we can see how Hokum compares. So the first one is don't split up. Now I have to say they failed. They failed at this rule, but it wasn't their fault. Jerry and Ohm decide to go into the hotel together, and then if you remember, Jerry gets knocked out by I can't remember that character's name, the
So he
one with the
stays in the
crossbow.
hall, Mal. He stays in, no, not Mal, the other one.
Not the other guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, the other
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
So,
So
so
he,
Jerry stays. Jerry goes and checks, and this one stays behind the hall or something like I don't know in the other area. So where
yep.
this guy, that character didn't see him, but technically they split.
They split up. So I was like, they
Yeah.
failed. But then Jerry makes it back to him. So okay, so we can give them we'll give them like a C grade. They didn't fail, but we can't give them an A. I totally went teacher brain on that. The second rule is don't look back. I have to say he didn't look back, but he maybe should have looked back, in a few scenes because there was always his mother or somebody behind him. So I wish he actually broke that rule. Um, the third rule is don't ask who's there. He really excelled at
He
this. I don't
literally went
actually.
down and he was like, "Who's there?" And I was like,
Oh,
"Why the
sorry. No,
hell
he
you
failed
want
at
to
this.
know?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He was in the scariest part. He's in the basement in the
He was in the
corner. He has
basement
no
in
way
that lift
out.
and he feels that shadow is coming towards him and he's like, "Who's there?" And I was like, "Why do you
Who's
want to know here? Go up."
Also, I was like, you already know. Like, there's no one else here. They already told you 5 times in the movie. But yeah, okay, so he failed at that.
But
But
it's the
yeah,
irony or whatever you want to call it for human brain when we do
yes,
the, like, if someone is, you are chasing someone and someone is running away from you, you'll say, don't run, and that obviously
yes.
they they are going to.
I saw this one video of this guy who was like, it was kind of scary. He was running away from people like in the woods. He was like solo camping or something, but he kept announcing to the people that I know where you are and I'm running away. And I was like, what are you doing, man? Just like go to your car. But anyways, thank God
He's
he survived.
he is self assuring himself that I am ahead.
Yeah, like it was like he was proving. I mean, who knows though? You have so much adrenaline in you. Like I can't imagine. I'd probably do the same thing. But yeah, so he failed that one too.
See,
But
those are the where a fight, flight, of that type of reaction is there. So you
yes,
don't know
then
what you are
that's when you
going to
see.
do.
We can all say what we think we do, but when you're in that moment, you have no idea. Okay, the next rule was beware of the jump scare. We already talked about this a million times. That should be like rule number one, two, three, four, and five for this because there were so many. They were
Many
so
jump
good. But
scares.
yeah,
Yeah.
beware of the jump scare. I should have read that to that lady that screamed in the theater. I've never been in a theater before where somebody was so scared. Like when I say she screamed, I mean like the type of scream you hear in a horror film. She like exhaled. Um, uh, and it's fine. Like I was just like, we looked back to be like, are you okay? Like we were all thinking it, and she just let it out. So it's like, uh, the next one is follow the warnings. So I don't know, like he kind of did. I mean, he was smart enough to do the chalk circle, right? So he grabbed the piece of chalk. And he rigged the dumb waiter so that he could escape. He paid
But
attention. Mhm.
but when the Mal tells him that I am telling you, if you don't come out now, I'm going to leave you. But he didn't follow
Yes.
that. But
He
then if
still,
he
I know,
would
he
have
still had to
followed
look.
that, then the movie will not happen.
Yeah, that's true. And Fiona never would have been found and all. Like it was kind of like that was his dharma. He had to do it, but yeah,
I
he
literally
followed
felt
some
like
warnings, but
he
not
is that
others.
kid. He said, "Don't
Yeah,
press that button," and he's like, "Okay, okay," and it was literally was going in a
100%.
slow motion, and tuck, it is like that.
100%. 100%. Like it's just like, and he's looking to the side. Huh? Huh?
I did.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. So the next rule doesn't apply because this isn't a sequel, but it was follow the rules of the previous films or sequels. So if you want to relate it to like the other two films Damian McCarthy has, then they did kind of follow the rules, but there's nothing really to link it in the story. So we'll just go to the last rule, which I was very, very happy. This was the secret rule that we added last time. That's not really a hard, fast rule of horror films. It's more our rule that we added on, which is good wins in the end. Um, I don't like, I mean, it's a complicated story, so like good and bad it's not like clearly
So
defined. You
it's
know what I
for his
mean? Like in like a
interpretation.
hero
Yeah,
story. Exactly. But I feel like good wins in the end in the sense that, the main
his
character
own
finds,
he
yeah,
finds a
he,
peace. If you see in the beginning, his story
yeah,
narrative was different, and then in the
yeah.
end, the whole narrative changes.
Yes, yes. And even like he agrees to read Albie's screenplay or book, sorry,
Yeah,
his writing at the end,
manuscripts.
like his manuscript, thank you. He changes the ending of his book, right? And there's a more hopeful, positive ending. There's
Yeah,
definitely
and he
closure, which in,
for the first
yeah,
time in the end, he smiles little bit.
yes, yes, 100%. And he becomes okay. Like he has this sense of like he wants to know everything, right? And anything that doesn't make sense to him, he just like gets so upset about. And at the end, he's just willing to accept that he has no idea what happened in that basement, and he never
Yeah,
will. And was it real? Was it not? He doesn't know, but he's just happy that he's alive. That you know what I mean. Fiona has
he's
peace.
out
He
of
has
it. Yeah.
peace. Yeah, exactly. So okay, so I think we covered everything. We kind of covered a lot. We got to the message, we got to the plot, we connected it to other movies, we connected it to this podcast, we went through our rules. Um, the final word that I'll ask you for is who was your favorite character or what was your favorite moment? It's hard to choose, so you can do either and why. And that's where we'll end it. And I'll give you mine.
So character, I like Jerry. I like each character because they have a specific this thing. I like Jerry because he he could have just gone in the woods and doesn't care, but he still cared. In spite of his
Yeah.
life being in mess, he cared about him. And the particular place where I liked was two place. One was the hand sign like that. which
The
helps
bell with
the bell.
no,
Oh my
that
God! The
was so funny.
first time I saw that when he was showing, instead of getting scared, I laughed actually.
I'm
Like,
sorry.
what the hell is he doing?
Oh
And
man, but so
then,
when yeah, yeah, go ahead.
oh, and the second
Uh,
thing I liked was when in the end when he says he spiked LB or what I forgot his name. He says he
yeah,
spiked his drink with mushroom, and he looks at his hand, and there are chain marks. So it's
chain
up to
marks.
your
He's
interpretation that was it real or what was it not real.
yes,
So that
yes,
was my favorite part. Like if you
yeah,
for him it was as much as real as it could have been, because even though it was his hallucination or whatsoever, he he processed this trauma through that incident, so it was good for him.
100%, hundred
So it's
percent.
like we are chained by our own trauma, and we are chained by our own refusal to forgive ourselves for what happened, or
Yes,
though we say, oh, I'm past it, I have moved on, but if you
yeah,
don't really process it, it haunts you for your life. It reflects somewhere in your journey. So
yeah,
you need
hundred
to
percent.
feel the uncomfortable emotions which you are harboring on to, or you are holding on to, or you are in denial to face it, that no, I'm very strong person, I don't feel like this. But we are human beings. No emotion is bad, it's just a different wavelength. So if it
Yeah,
is a negative emotion also, you need to feel it, express it, and release it. Otherwise it will somewhere down the line harbor in you, and will reflect in either in your behavior or mindset, or you keep torturing yourself for that shame and guilt which you have hold on to.
yeah. And honestly, that's exactly why I think talking about this movie after all of the things we've talked about so far in this season actually makes perfect sense and adds to the theme that we're building on.
Calm in
Uh,
chaos, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Calm in chaos. Um, Also, we're linked because what you said about the pose where Fiona's pointing at the bell and then Jerry imitates it was what I was gonna say was one of my favorite moments, because the way that they sprinkle humor throughout this film really helps to break up the scares
Yeah.
and just like make it so much more enjoyable. And Jerry was my favorite character, definitely. But it's hard because I loved Albie, I loved Ohm, I loved
Everybody has
Fiona.
their own special place in the movie. Like the
Yeah,
movie will not be complete without anyone, even the
exactly.
character whose name we forgot about.
Yeah, I can't remember his
Poor
name. This is
guy.
the crossbow guy, the maintenance guy. I know. I'm so sorry. And he was like he was integral to the plot too. But
uh,
that's like, so what I'll say, folks, is I know I said the final word would be favorite character, favorite moment, but the actual last thing I'm gonna say is, if you watch this film and you like it, I do encourage you to go watch Oddity and Caveat, because I think you'll walk away with the same feeling of what Dr. Art just described, that every character is needed, and this story just wouldn't be the same. It's like a puzzle. You take away one piece and it's incomplete. And yeah, and this movie actually is a good way to learn some lessons, similar to the episodes, in the West East podcast of season 2 so far. So I hope you enjoyed this discussion. If you have seen this movie and you think we were way off base, or you loved what we talked about, you want to give us your own interpretation, please leave us a comment. We'll love to hear from you. And either way, we will be back next week with another episode, and we look forward to seeing you there. But for now, say goodbye. Bye, Dr.
Bye. Bye, Amy.
Bye,
For my
everybody.
city, 3 for my city, 4 for my city. No, I'm the one who'd go to war for my city. 5 for my city, 6 is my city. Holla at me if y'all vibe with my city. Come try on my city, don't you lie in my city. Symbol of truth, I'll fight for my city.
The West East podcast is part of the We campaign, also known as Anti-East Indian Hate Campaign by Viragya Entertainment. You can weigh in on the conversation in the meantime in our comments section or on our social media. You can also visit www.imshavam.net/w.e. Remember, Vasudev Kutumbakam. We are all one family. Until next time.